The program now Good Morning Salon, and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and we will bring to the edition of the program Good Morning Salon come to you. My name is Adeyemi Jackson.
And my name is Kabia. As we read one power headline say today inside the program, we go talk to the Statistician General na Statistics Salon and Bob Johnny. We go give updates, but how they don't prepare for the 2026 housing and population census where they go do na the country. Well, for sake of that, I want to welcome the Statistician General na the program. Good morning, welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
A very good morning, moderators. A very good morning, Ifambulem.
Okay, Statistics Salon, a government institution where government's been set up through an act of parliament where they're responsible for collect data, analyze and give correct data on different things we go help government for do different development in them na the country. And inside September 9, 2024, government be announced say we go only housing and population census inside 2025, but Statistics Salon, due to reason the way the Statistician General go explain at the program, been say this go happen now inside December 2026. Well, for sake of that, we can go more updates about the change, how they don't prepare, make we get the Statistician General at the program. Before we talk about this, the 2026 housing and population census, until we get you in the studio, waiting on the happen at Statistics Salon.
Morning again. They are today for talk for the census, and I tell Radio 98.1 for we them invite me for we are there for talk for the census. As we all know, the president will proclaim say the census for take place at this country September 9, 2024, and then about the law. Because for make you proclaim a census, it is inside the Census Act say for every 10 years for conduct census in this country. And that don't be the case since 1963. We don't begin. Till today we can't do one again in 2026. And for do anything whatsoever except His Excellency the President will now say the census for take place. So if you don't do so, of course, that will happen through the advice of the Minister of Planning and Economic Development. We will supervise the ministry and the minister. If you don't advise, then the proclamation take place. When that can happen, then they don't blow the whistle. It talks say Statistics Sierra Leone, they forbid the pioneer, now they for take the front line for actually make sure say they conduct the census. Because now the officers with the government and the country and these people know say for produce official statistics. So ever since that proclamation, we done the ready. So I've just one fumble and take una true, which we don't do so far ever since the president proclaimed the census. The first thing you get for do when the president proclaimed the census, now for make sure say the administrative machinery for day in place for ensure safe or run the census. And waiting at the administrative machinery, not to anything different from what we done to do from the previous census term. It is set up an advisory committee. It is set up a technical committee. It is set up a publicity committee. It is set up a district committee. All our committees and they like security, logistics, all the one and they for get them ready because census na serious business. So you got to make sure say you get the structures there in place. We go make sure say the census go happen. It go happen fine, not only within the country standards then, but also with international standards as well. So we don't set then committee here and we don't inaugurate them. We do that one and the advisory committee. I just want to tell you the composition of the advisory committee. It comprises of all the political parties that we registered, APC, SLPP, NGC, and all other registered parties. And also it comprises of key MDAs. Of course, the Ministry of Planning, we now is supervising ministry, now part of that day and other MDAs. Of course, the Paramount Chief Representative back there inside this wire. The security agency, then the police, the military, they're all a part of this advisory committee. The advisory committee, now the committee where we set for make sure say they handle policy issues them. Like we can like for the law, I mean like for the proclamation, anything we get for do with legal issues, resource and mobilization and advocacy, where you want to look for money, where you want to make sure say like problem won't come at a very high level, you get for go back to this committee and make sure say then solve them problem also. So we don't inaugurate this committee here. As we don't for inaugurate the committee, the next one we inaugurate and come with in place are the technical committee. The technical committee now comprise, as the name imply, of technocrats them where they run the census. Now remember say census na about people them. You get for go out for go cons people them at a specified time and within a particular delineated area when at the country when a salon. You get for be at a particular point in time. So when once that don't happen, we don't set that committee day. The most important thing are the questionnaire. Remember saying that questions them, you go put to the people then for make you get answers them, make you get information. Information really related to health, information really related to education, information really related to agriculture, then well-being, how much and they na they host them, what they do, the kind of school where they go, and all that one day. So you got to make sure say, then questions them, but you can't get them on development, especially you get them right. So the technical committee comprised of technocrats them, MDAs them, researchers them. Everybody where they deal with data business at this country here, where they invite the focal person to that committee day. Follow all SIDOM, we design a questionnaire we will comprise of all the indicators them. Everything we get for do about development, we capture them. Health, education, just like what on name. So we make sure say we get down the right and before we move forward. Again, about the processes them. Census get timelines, they get activities them. That committee day now get for determine when the activity for take place, how it for take place, and what you for do. That one day back will be done inaugurate them. Then of course we come and we inaugurate the publicity committee. The publicity committee now one way they of course make sure say the message on the census, education on the census. Everybody census now all man business. So for ensure say everybody know about them, you not only they know but you understand very well and also about the timing moving forward. So that committee day, now for day like we call them the Vuvuzela. Now they make noise about the census, educate people about the census at district level, and make sure say everybody understand something about the census. Because if they don't understand, at the end of the day, you go to the doorstep for go collect information. They will tell you say, what you come for? We don't understand what you do. So the first thing we will do over a long period of time for ensure say we educate salon people them, but within the census they about, how advantageous it is, the benefits and way they can wait and all that one day. So that committee now is responsible for that one day. Then thereafter, we get the district committees as well, we will launch. The district committee it comprises of the chairpersons or chairmen of all the districts and municipalities. It also comprises of associations like the Bike Riders Association, you get the Market Women's Association, the school children, and everybody. It encompasses everybody, every stakeholder at the district now that they involved. That one day will be done inaugurate that committee there as well, sometime around the 13th of March. Yes, we do them at district level. It happened on the same day for all the districts. There are also other stakeholders and they will be therefore informed about the census and why they for participate at district level for me to make sure say we get the census right. So that one day extremely important. We don't make sure say we set all the one a day so that we get things right. Now this is not about waiting we don't do so far. So I want to tell you now waiting we get for do next after this.
Okay, so before we can wait to get for do next with all this committee when you say we don't put together and the committee they don't meet, so they don't do different work them. But the census will be up on 2025 on a push until 2026. So with all this committee different things I don't put in place, waiting will be the reason.
All right, okay. So I will start with the mandate, the law. We say the president for announce the census in accordance with the 10-year business we they talk about. Census now every 10 years. But the president get right for call a census anytime in between now that the law say. So, of course, you said on state and I say the president proclaimed the census on the 9th of September 2024. So when he proclaimed that census day, now that 10 statistics alone get the rights, he get the responsibility for undertake anything. Before that one day, we not get rights, it's not legal for law undertake anything we pertaining to the census. So when he proclaimed the census on the 9th of September 2024, statistics alone then gear up to make sure say they undertake the census. But now remember say this census who they do and the data who they collect, not so only for statistics alone, we also do them for other countries that we get for use that data globally. United Nations Statistical Commission, Now, one of the big agency, them institution in the world, where they coordinate statistics business, that they use with data globally for the sustainable development goals and other agenda them out there in the country. And we get what we call the principles and recommendations of population census. Then I like what we call the Bible. We all country them, all country in Africa, Europe, we all don't subscribe to them, we don't sign on until their recommendations there, we for adhere to them who they conduct census in any country. And one of the things then with that recommendation states is that before you do census, you for 1 year before that census day, you for do what we call a pilot census. That pilot census day, now they test everything, everybody know about pilot. You test the questionnaire, may you know if all the questions the way the inside that questionnaire they appropriate and capture all the development needs them. Also the number of people and way for recruit, you for test them and know how much people them you they recruit. Also the logistics them. You don't get everything where you need, you don't get the servers them. Remember saying a digital census we do now. You don't get all the Android tablets that we need, you don't get the associated power banks them, you don't get other things that you need like data for sync and everything. The climatic conditions are ripe because remember saying that 1 year it is set before the actual census. So the climatic conditions, the social conditions, the cultural conditions, them all, whether on a holiday 10 people in this then they go school or work Monday, whether on a holiday then gets or not, you go for test all that one day if it happen 1 year before the census. Now let me talk through. These presidents announced the dates of the census, do the proclamation in September. So if you get for do, assuming so we get for do this census here in 2025, 1 year 2025 down 2024 it don't announce in September. So 1 year to the census now December 2024. So now like 3 months that one day. 3 months is very small, a very short for do all the preparations them. Buy the gadgets them, buy tablets them, get servers them, get everything in place for do the pilot census.
And this now according to the law for conduct census every 10 years.
Yes.
And the president get the rights for proclaim say so tell they get census which it be do inside 2024. In the year of consultation before the president announced, and can come to na first and consult now because with always you don't talk so then according to in some of the reason they are make una not able for conduct the president will consult now and if in consult now whose advice una give in terms of preparation for conducting the census?
When the reverse, actually, that the reverse of what they say. Instead of in consult they talk to the Minister of Planning and Economic Development.
When I be tell the minister?
Yes, the minister. Then the minister indeed inform the president
so why
for make a proclamation.
So why the president go ahead and announce as una not been prepared well?
No, well, it's not about that. So if you just know what you talk, I mean, you know, go start any preparation on the census until the president make the proclamation. Nothing not legal if you do anything before the proclamation. Preparation will only start after the proclamation of His Excellency the President, so it don't become law. Now that's a year right for do project documents, for ask for even money, for even talk to any donor partners for make you give money for the census. So now the response down there to your question.
Okay, the president get a right for make proclamation, and he will do that in September 2024. Also, I announced the date for the census. We give power to statistics salon for ensure so we start preparation for do the census in December. Let we look into preparation. We will be taking into consideration some of the challenges there also, some of the problems here. So we the president we don't announce the dates for CC on all the census.
Yeah, I mean, if I get your question right, it's about the preparedness. So
yeah.
I just mentioned, say, you can.
Well, I'll be taking consideration all of them things here so before we start on our preparation.
Oh yes, obviously. Anything pertaining to procurement, not only when you don't make the announcement, of course you must think about what you get for do. But you're not going to do anything until you do the proclamation. Always you get for do, like you get for buy tablet, you get for buy power bank, you get for buy server, you get for do all that one day. Now like you do on the mark, on your marks, set as the president say go. So now just at that time, where they make the proclamation, where they make the lawful pronouncement, now that's all your intentions them, all your plans them for kind of fruition now moving forward.
So what's the major problem now with regard the postponement of the census?
The problems, as I don't highlight before.
Is it about finance or what?
No, it's not. Of course, it's not about finance. Obviously, if you want to talk about, moving forward with the census, the one of the problems, I don't highlight the problems and just now. The principles and recommendations state say you for do a pilot 1 year before you do the actual census, and the president proclaims say the census will take place in December 2025. So if ever we don't do a pilot, it should have been December 2024. It proclaimed in September to December are 3 months. Then they're not quite adequate for do lots of preparation. Remember, say shipment get for day of tablets them, you get for like ship other server equipment them. They will not only do this census in isolation. We they do it in consonance with other partners them. United Nations Statistical Commission, Economic Commission for Africa, UNFPA, Census Bureau. So in fact, at this point, I just want to make clear to una say, they want this organization, the Economic Commission for Africa, United Nations Population Forum headquarters at New York, and the Census Bureau, the way in Washington, they all become January this year. For now we come, look, consider after the president in proclamation. Then we can get meeting, we get an assessment, we check and everything, and then make sure, then tell we say with preparedness, if very much they in place, and all we structure them. The IT system, everything we don't plan a day in place. But since the census, now global business, not only salon business, let me also consider them. Then time frame we then get, level can build capacity for we. And for the other things that we then get for support we, again for March, then self with the timetable. Okay. So this they say do ya, let give them some time as well. So then one we for considering as well. Also, let we know say census is about inclusiveness. So you need enough time for really make sure say you popularize the census. You not like the other censuses they all do where there wasn't enough sensitization. This time round, we want to make sure say even possibly they don't have the fakai, you know about this census here, you know what I'm very well. So now that make we need enough time enough for make sure say we do the census.
Okay, continue for the between the program in the statistician general Andrew Bob Johnny. Where we go come back so you go can say we how prepared on a day for the 2026 census and save the different committee that we say una don't get and the work they don't they do for say this 2026 census come up fine. Where they bring come this edition of the program, my name is Kabia.
And Adeyemi Jackson.
And we get with the statistician general and the program as in there they talk about the different things them where they don't do and how they don't prepare for the 2026 housing and population census. And before we can talk about our preparedness and all, let we take you back inside 2021 also when I've been do the midterm census. So what will be the outcome?
Of course, normally when you do a census, I mean, at the end of the day, of course, you have to produce data for ensure say people and use them. Of course, we do that one day, and that data don't be extremely useful to people. I mean, out of the 2021 census, we don't use data for do lots of surveys. Multiple indicator cluster survey, what would they do now? The Australia integrated household survey, what would they do? Researchers that they come to we for get data. I mean, other ministries, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education. They want all the country, even international organizations, they can use the data moving forward. So, I mean, there has been a lot of benefits we don't get. The government, the user, at least for ensuring implementing policies and programs and moving forward.
During that time, the concern they we've been there concern so plenty people who have been take we've been work for at that time the 9 year of them payments. Yeah. So in that area, how found they wanna be done all the payments wanna been gets for make with so the different people that will be help on for carry out that midterm census day. Yes,
we don't pay everybody. I can say everybody. The one or two we left now because of like they get problem with, I mean, bank identity. Like for instance, you give the wrong bank account number, or perhaps you the out of town you give like authority somebody for can't take your money from you, will not wait for you not appropriate. But the government provide money for pay everybody at the end of the day. We'll not get problem with that.
Again, on the issue of concern with regard the midterm census when we do inside 2021, one concern we get for come out, we get to do with the issue of timing. And also we get to do with the issue of equipment we be see is for do that census, even the tablet when I begin to go London and neighboring countries so they get to do with the issue of preparation again, because these are some of the concerns that will be raised in the midterm census and are some of the things and back we don't see with regard the the census we are supposed to hold?
Okay, if I can first address the issue of timing we talk about, the midterm census will hold now one of its kind that this country will not ever happen. Where they look strange in the eyes of the people then. But actually, I will tell you, say, it's legal, it's mandatory. At the end of the Census Act, which states say, the president will proclaim a census every 10 years, but it also gets the right for call a census anytime what he wants. It is not the law, it is not the Census Act, it is there. So in terms of the timing, it was right, it was legal, and the president made the proclamation and we undertake them. It be just strange to the people them that could be for engaging in a lot of public sensitization. We state the law, we quote the aspect of the law, to the public domain, we communicate with them most of the time for making you understand. Perhaps not because of its strangeness, but it was actually legal and be in place for law undertaker. Again, talking about the tablets, of course, undertaking the census involves huge amounts of financial and logistical inputs. And you want to know one. Whenever you undertake a census, you get for coordinates with other international agencies, you get for coordinates with other countries. Kenya is a sister country. If we want to do census, we want to buy census tablets or power banks, we're pretty expensive. Where they attract almost half of the cost of the census budget. Then say we will learn tablets we don't just use for conduct with census instead of buy the tablets the money we use for buy the census read the tablets we direct into much needed areas like for buy servers and other products so why we not go take the tablets so Kenya learn with the tablets and we use them effectively. We're extremely grateful to His Excellency the President for where he talked to in colleague president for who gets the tablets and implement the census with the tablets. Any other associated problem, I think problems they come and they go. When they come, we address them. Census not they go without problems, just like with any other activity or phenomenon where they happen at this world here. But I'm pretty sure we'll be trying to handle all them problems and moving forward. And not only that, the problems that we occur not only related to timing and tablets, but areas also related to publicity, areas related to cartography, areas related to the main data collection. We catalog all them problems and they in one workshop we call lessons learned. So all the mistakes that we've been doing during the 2021 census and all the successes we catalog them. Now that we use now for build on this 2025 census for making a better census.
We can look inside preparation when they put in place for do the 2026 census. Well, look back into the benefit where the country will get from that midterm census. What are some of the major benefits, and they will say these are some of the things that the country will achieve from the midterm census with statistics we do.
Census get lots of benefits. It get lots of advantages. It get lots of things and where they get from them. The benefits are just tremendous. One about the policy and administration. Census about everybody, even picking where them born today. So when they go collect that data, the data relates to the age category, the children, the infants, the aged, the youths, the adults, to all categories of life it refers to. So when you don't collect that information you carry it into government. Government look at them, you see the percentage of infants, the percentage of children, the percentage of youths, the percentage of the aged. If you see say the youths more than the other age categories, then it provide schools, recreational facilities, it provide other things, way like welfare, way much more beneficial to the youths. If you get an aging population, then it provide wheelchairs, health facilities and other things that will benefit more like the aged people. With the infants, of course, it's about health facilities, feeding processes, and other things that are related to the infants as well. Then I just like the policy and administration. It also it don't help a lot. That data will get in resource mobilization. When you don't go out, you don't know the numbers, now the geographic domains, inside districts, say like Gambia more populated than Pujom or other places, then the government they know exactly how much people they in that place in Gambia. Then if they allocate resources, then like giving the money where they allocate to the local councils, then the schools, how much school Gambia need based on the population where it gets. That also they go for the health facilities, that they go with rural developments, that they go with boreholes, where they get for drill, forget water for people. It is like the welfare of the people are more catered for by informed decision making by the data we provide with the census. census.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess enough for say, but perhaps
Let me look at the credibility of the result when we pull from the midterm census. People will get concerned, institutions then will get concerned with regard population adjustment that district them. Let's take for example Freetown. The result when we pull, the data when we show in terms of population of Freetown, that one way plenty, that one way people will get concerned and be questioned.
yeah, that's very true. People never understand the dynamics about the population so far. I mean, that kind of idea we didn't get about the population of Freetown in the past is not what it's really used to be. I mean, we get Freetown, you get the urban, then you get the rural. The urban area of Freetown, 9 get East 1, East 2, East 3. Then West 1, West 2, West 3. Inside the rural, you get Waterloo, you get Koya, and you get other districts there as well. Let me get for understand, say, the dynamics of the population, it don't change. Inside proper Freetown, I don't say people, they don't sleep there, but not so even much. Me, where they, now God rich are there. Other people, they know Waterloo. I will tell you for free, say, Freetown, na commuting population, it gets. People that they can't, they during the day, na PZ, they come up from Lunge, they can't walk. You can see the ferry, they full of people, so they can't walk. Then at the end of the day, then go back. Me, they can't walk. Na King Street, at the end of the day, na Freetown that one day, na Western area that one day. But at the end of the day, I go rural. So the population of the Freetown, the Western area in particular, then of course that one day we get for deal with the rural, it change exponentially. Now that we get for understand. The dwelling units then, the place of residence mostly for people where they live na Freetown or Western area. Now the rural areas them they sleep, then they come during the day for can walk now the western urban, east or west. So that's we have to understand the trend. We have to understand the movements of people, waiting they happen. Now that is responsible for the shift in that population. We make the rural they get more population than the western area urban proper. We get PZ and other areas.
So before we go this break, one thing people them be don't concern about now like the way how them become for cons them and all as them been there some as you don't explain rightly say now these people them they get concerned about this. Then you say immediately after this census and all this midterm census, when we don't go get meeting on a sit down on a watch. So during the on a meeting and they on a sit down for engage and watch. What will be some of the major challenges on be able for on being pick up inside the midterm census?
Yeah, I mean one of the challenges and we've been get now that I mean of course we've been get at that time not to secret this. The opposition party by then the APC, they asked the people them at the stronghold not for participate in the census. So that will be a major challenge because there be the challenge the legality of the process and say then things are not legal, so not for hold them. So as a result, they're going to then stronghold them and they will tell some people and say may they not participate. It's one of the major challenges in the one day. So in terms of what we don't do for combat that one day, we ensure say at least we come together at the advisory committee, we get for understand, we're on the same page, and that what they do now, APC and a part of the advisory committee, and all other political parties and follow understand better, about the census process, its legality before we move forward. So that's what we don't document that one day. Moving forward with other challenges it been there about, again, sensitization. The methods of sensitization, like then town hall meetings and all supposed for don't they get, apart from just the print and electronic media, it not been too much of that, although we get them. So we don't try for like hype up that one day now, for make sure see we get them right. Then even the trainings that will be conducted for both the cartographic mapping and the main enumeration, the time not been too sufficient based on the number of people that will be trained. So again, we don't sit down and review and say we therefore increase the time, and even the facilitators then follow make sure say we get an effective training where eventually will lead to good data collection. So these are just few of the challenges and the remedies that we don't put in place for ensure we correct them.
Okay, continue for the between the program in the statistician general and Bob Johnny, where they have to talk about how them prepare for the 2026 population and housing census. Inside the program now, not time for we take break. Well, the program where they listen to on Good Morning Salon and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, now we come to a studio guest when are the statistician general and Bob Johnny. where they are for the updates, but the 2026 housing and population census. You don't talk about the different thing on, I don't do talk about challenges, them talk safe about the midterm census. Let me come now to how statistics alone don't prepare for the 2026 housing and population census. So take me through on our preparedness for conduct the census.
Yes, okay. So I don't talk about the things we don't do so far. So now make I talk about the next steps. What we don't plan for the next. By the way, we they conduct a census. Members say they try for collect a holistic data. We get for inform governments and your own partners on development. So waiting first sensibly you get for do now for call users producers workshop, wherein they call everybody with the statistics or data collection business, the researchers, then the MDAs, then the NGOs, then you call them all to a meeting. Tell them, say, we want conduct a census. What do you think, say, now the relevant data needs of this country here, or for ask from your own business where they do, data collection where they do, related to health, related to education, if you're an NGO, if you're a researcher. Waiting are the things them. So we call a whole array of data researchers them, data collectors them, data users them. We call them all. So we able get like a whole basket of everything we will need. The data issues them, how we get for deal with them, whatever problems we get with the sit down we discuss them. We get on the one day, then if we get we get sufficient fund for call another. For law try make sure say we will not miss on any data needs them where this country get for use for the next 10 years. Remember say census not 10 years. So you get for make sure say you get everything right, you not miss nothing. Collect and make sure say you put everything inside that questionnaire the way you need, because now they get for use for the next 10 years. So with the call kind meeting the users and producers workshop. So then one of the activities that we don't left we'll get for do. Then of course the recruitment. Census, since about everybody, it gets massive recruitment process. For field activities related to what we call the cartographic mapping, also get for go out or make sure say we separate with this country into small manageable units where eventually come 2026 December. One person will go inside and constable and take the requisite information inside 2 weeks. So we'll go for make sure say we do that cartographic mapping day. We'll go for train force, then of course we deploy the cartographers then. Then also we get for do what we call the pilot census where I don't talk about now. Then they get for happen by God in power this year, 2025. We get for do the pilot census where they test everything but the questionnaire. We test the logistics, we test the field workers them, we test the cultural issues them, we test the social problems, social issues them, and everything. We will make sure say we don't ready for do the census next year December. Then also come the main data collection now next year December 2026. Also go for deploy people them in excess of even 20,000. We will do all over for make sure say and collect the data. And we do that, go for do that training day at district level. Now district level go for do a not of which go for count everybody for make sure say every district own the process. So we go for do that one day. Then after that day, of course, the other processes we go for like process the data. We analyze the data, we evaluate them, they'll call we disseminate them. We see the get data for people and user.
Okay, so in terms of we be start supposed to be totally different in committee the way so now we don't get now don't meet and all. Our best then committee I don't sit for say they involved by the census, talking about the advisory committee we get for do with political parties them, and we don't they see concern, don't they come out from the main opposition APC party now that they not don't involve them too much on this 2026 census. For sake of this, then the 2020 the midterm census back now one way them back they get concerned, but then this 2026 they don't get concerned. But what is statistics go do for say they able for make everybody come together, more especially then at the opposition for say this census able for come out fine.
By the way, census is an inclusive process. Statistics we are a responsible institution where they ensure say everybody involved by the census process. With the advisory committee, we talk about we comprise of all political parties. We don't call 2 meetings of political parties this year. The first we'll call everybody, all political parties. We call the security agents the head. We call the police. We call the military. We call the paramount chief heads them. They're all been there. So then one day we call them to a meeting in the first inaugural meeting. We will tell them, say, we get for do a census, and we ensure say like they all for the on board and make sure say they participate in the process. We guide the process for a policy and advocacy issues them. We call that meeting day sometime in we call that much earlier. We call that much earlier this year. Then just after that one day, in March again this year, precisely on the 13th of March, we call another meeting of the advisory committee who say the APC, the SLPP, and all other parties been there. Okay. The APC been there, now that meeting there, the advisory committee, who say we even talk about the postponement of the census to 2026 from 2025. The representative, now Peter Bangura, now been the former staff of Statistics Sierra Leone, will go to that meeting there and instead acknowledge the fact say censuses proclaimed in a year cannot be held on the dates where the president will proclaim them. Instead talk about the history of dates in census. It starts by saying in 1963, when I be the first modern day census will hold by this country here, the next 10-year census will don't be in 1973. It not happen. Now 1974 it be. So it happened 1974. The next census will don't happen with the 10-year period. If it don't be in 1984. It not happen in 1984. Again, because of similar reasons, because census is a huge process, it not happen in 84, now 85 it happen. Then we get a 19-year war will happen, we break in between. Then we get the census in 2004. 2004, the next census for them be 2014. It not happen in 2014, it happened in 2015. So there has never been in the history of this country who side presidents then proclaim censuses on the day, then it happened on that particular time. In principle, the president get for announce the date because it's law, it's legal. And not going to announce any other dates other than that one day. Whether it get for happen or not, so it get for announce them. About the actual date, the statistics we don't now get for come together with other people then and sit down and see how possible this dates could be. Okay. If it's possible for me happen, they will hold that. If it's not possible because of logistical reasons or other problems, they will go state them. And that be not they happen. And it not make no difference what will happen again in 2025 or they move forward towards 2026.
How often like you normally engage with as partner them stakeholders that we involved into and the census business, because the issue of communication that one way don't be concerned, especially from the main opposition, that most times decisions them we like take not like communicate them early. Now when like don't take the decisions there, so like it come later for no. So how often like you normally communicate and engage with our partners them?
I would say you say we engagements with partners them. Well, the advice the committees and what I don't tell you about. The advice you, the technical committee and other committees them. Inside this year, this is just April. We don't get 2 meetings them of the advisory committee. We get one earlier this year, we don't get another one in March. By every indication, I think that's sufficient time. These are just within 2 quarters. We're not even complete January, February, March, April, May, June. We'll not even finish the second quarter yet. We don't hold 2 meetings then. And all the meetings in there, in the first one we hold, we deliberate a lot on issues then. Inside that meeting day, we even decide to get a subcommittee where they look closely into things and we can also get for call meetings them. So inside just less than 6 months, we don't get 2 meetings them when advisory committee meetings. And this meeting will get the advisory committee meeting. This last one will hold on the 13th of March. Then communicate this data to the representative of the APC. In responsibility was to take the message to the party, because that make it the Canada meeting and again for all other political parties and stakeholders, be it the military, the police, or anyone supposed to come and report back. So now the reporting channel that one day. So with the whole meeting as often as possible. Remember, that meetings are pretty expensive again. Anytime you call them, you get for spend money. So inside less than 6 months or even 5 months, we don't get 2 meetings them. I think that's a credit, and we don't communicate all the issues them with them.
Apart from the partners, even the people we get for do the census, so they're very important, because as you mentioned, say after the midterm census, will be all meeting for actually look at lessons learned. And one of the things I want to get from that workshop that many people not be understand the midterm census, and now where they can hold another census 2026 and not don't postpone the census will be supposed to be 2025. The issue of sensitization, public sensitization, also key. So now can normally engage if the people down there.
Of course, I want to say that even a policy issue, because right in the president's one of the meetings that we then hold in cabinet. Now for me, they make sure say then the presidents make them very clear say we will work very closely with the Ministry of Information. Now because now in the government wing, in as much as we self gets we young communication wing now we office day, but if we collaborate and make sure say people that know about the census here in excess. Everybody know about that. So as I talk with you, we get what we call, we don't develop a communication strategy. With the Ministry of Information together with young communication wing that we office on hold, and they don't get a strategy moving forward on how they get for propagate the census message to all the four corners of this world, of this country as so. So I can assure you say, we don't learn lessons then from 2021, and they make sure say, we go for make enough noise, a lot of noise we get for deafing all about the census from now till next year. In fact, that's one of the reasons, in fact, why we don't make sure say we give sufficient time beyond 2025 for the census here. May all now understand and know about the census before we go next year, December 2026.
With all what you don't explain, so involve plenty couple. So waiting at the total money we wanna need for conduct the 2026 census.
The total money we will need now about $37 million. Where if you convert that in loans, it's about 911 million new loans. So now huge amounts of money that one day.
So this money wanna need so government get for give part, or then what about the development partners? They say get for give part of this money, or na solely government they give all this money for the census?
Now partnership,
okay.
The government and development partners them. They give resources them, they give money, they also give equipment them, and other things they all need for run the census. Now partnership. Census business, the expensive business. One person not they run them. Even if you able to run them for accreditation purposes them, for me other people that know say they were part of it, and for me for be credible, at least they go for make sure say they're not part of it.
So one thing back where people want concern people when we get during the midterm census now the questions them, and you say I don't prepare the questionnaires them, or I don't they na get for train people like some of the questions them they ask them who say mama born, who say papa born, they want, and the people don't be this people will say like some of them questions and not necessary lessons learned. Waiting at some if you go able to forgive some of the kind questions the people will expect, because then they some man will say they don't ask you this, now this they ask you, people be able to make fun of the process.
Questions about the census are standard questions okay. And I will tell you and I assure you say they're not they change a lot. With the all standard, and not only standard for this country here, then standard for all countries in the world where they conduct census, and especially for the African continent. They're all standard because we get a common origin, we got a common heritage, we culture, and we welfare all now, they get the same background. So questions them where they will not just they come and just come with them, with the call, just like what I've been telling you, a users and producers workshop. Then I will say everybody they deal with data business they come, we put onto them, waiting at the questions and wait for inside this questionnaire, we will go to the people them. So now after careful discussion, a very inclusive, we did one at national, district level, make sure they call in consultative meetings and we all come together, we own them, now we all, not to one game person no more, not to statistics. We all come, we determine the questions them, who they put in science, we validate them, we take on the technical committee, we validate them, they will ensure say it's okay and it fit for purpose before they can go to the people. Okay. So in terms of the funny questions, I don't know precisely looking at the funny questions the way they talk about, but for me, those questions are standard and they hardly change.
Okay, yeah. Let's take it back to the money we una need. You mentioned, say you don't mention the total money we una need for do the census. As of now, una don't get starting.
Yes, we don't get the government. They do very well. In fact, we not even ask them put. So they don't develop what you call a special basket fund. Then like we get two accounts them. One account day, we just do whether you ask, ask governments they put money inside from what they generate from the revenue. Then we own account day, we not per need. We will need like for conduct one activity like locative verification. We want 1,000. They'll ask the government say 1,000. perhaps 1 or 2 million we get inside that basket fund, or they ask for them, then pull them, then give it. So as you know, we get enough money in the basket fund, and we get money currently now. We own fund now, we the one with activities. Then we don't ask for all. Now in piecemeal we they ask based on activity.
So how much money right now within the basket fund, and including our account?
The basket fund normally is being coordinated by the accountant general. So like I'm not previous one, but I will tell you say enough funds there, because currently we don't get like just now which we don't ask for now about close to $1 million, and they don't give you that money there.
What I don't go now?
The government don't give it. Now the government don't give that money there. And not only that, in terms of the procurement, for procure the tablets them, for buy the tablets them, for buy the logistics and vehicles them all, almost the past $50 million, the government don't provide that money again through a contract, so don't give a vendor for make sure they get all the equipment them for with the tablets, the power banks, the vehicles them, all the government don't take ownership of that day. They don't know them get for coming. They will go for me then.
The issue we make a ask with regard on the corporate owner need now for people out there know say things they go on fine, so that in a situation not go come back and say na money challenge you not get.
No, currently we not get the government where the president be proclaim. He did say, if I can quote him, he dedicates huge amounts of resources them, both logistics, financial and otherwise, to the census process. And it live to him promise, it live to him, and we're very grateful to him and the cabinet and the government and the people of this country for the resources with it. So far, we not get any money problem so far.
Salon, one big problem on the big procurement process, don't be one big challenge. So in terms of the tablets and the vehicles, them now other than when I don't get contracts for procure them.
The procurements, National Public Procurement Authority, of course, we get that agency they make sure say fairness in everything where you do. Now, about procurement, whatever. A company there eventually, but who companies and buy bid, and you go through the process, the procurement process will be free, fair, and transparent. And we invite NPPA for be part of the process for every stage of the process, the bidding process, the bid opening, and everything they are part of it. And so we get a successful winner. We come out, we are known interlinks with one other company, and then win the process. And then they about, and I may say, one of the conditions we put now for me them pre-finance everything and make sure say then one. And then they and no say we get a credible person where they in place and where they make sure say we'll get to equipment them and products them when we want them.
So for transparency's sake, because they will not go get back statistics alone, go can begin say, well, we try this company knock out the motor car, knock out the tablets, it and all. So almost company them bid and how transparent this process been sound like.
For me, I think we get more than 6, 7 or 8, more than close to 10 companies and bid for the process, and then go through the procurement process as required by the law. So then go through that one day and assure from where we award, give a letter to the successful winner of the procurement process. We give 1 week window. If anybody want contest or get anything for say, make it right back and say agree or not agree. Nobody no right say not agree. So for me, there have been no problem. That's what I understand.
So in total, almost tablets the country need for conducting 2026 census.
The country need more than 26,000 tablets.
Okay, and one quick one before we go break. One challenge wouldn't be we are here from the midterm census now. People they say like they don't work with you now in terms of payment. So man say now they not pay them the money. Also some people say they left their case God they not go work again and all. In that area they with the kind of money we talk so I don't get and the way they write now the accounts and say we all don't know they get for come. This challenge with this 2026 census, we get for say again?
No, absolutely no. I will tell you, say that one of the things that we'll take away from the lessons learned workshop. Who ensure say like the method of payments we use the last time. Who say that when are through the commercial banks them, they go queue or at times they kind of office to we become difficult with the banks them who they pay. We don't move away from that day. Now we deal with the telco companies them, Orange, Africell, Ucell, or everyone. Now everybody get mobile phone at this concert, almost everybody. So all you need for do now for just giving you number. Then when thing come for let we pay you. We wire the money to you get them. So we say they work elect now very na mongo you work, you don't need for commodity for can give money to you people like you just make sure say you transfer the money. So the challenge maybe they happened the last time as I've been saying now about mixed up account numbers or other issues then when they come up, but then they know they happen anymore. We work with these mobile companies now for ensure say most of them problems already happen and not go happen again. And we'll already test this with surveys and what we get in the past. We involve few people them. Okay. Now mobile orange money we they use for sending money them. So like we not they get problem, we don't get a test case of one day who also they use for the census now.
A name na Andrew Bob Johnny, statistician general and statistics salon. Continue for the which we the program. The program na Good Morning Salon, and they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Now time for look at messages and where people don't send inside the program. And this one now is 077981981. Say good morning Radio Democracy. I am writing to inquire about the plans and preparation for the upcoming 2026 census in Sierra Leone. Specifically, I would like to know what is the expected time frame of the census, what measures are being put into place, how will the public be informed and encouraged to participate in the census.
From Victor Foden on Facebook, they say, Mr. Johnny, you do not think that the president needs to come out and inform the people about the change of census he has as stated in our constitution?
This one from 077981981 says statistician general, there is any database on the census of young people actively involved in the sports sector. This one they come up from Kalamu na Percival Street.
And this other one they say this year the 2026 census other gets for pay the people them na the government of Salon or development partner them, because the last time where development partner them be handle the payment, we been see how it be turn out. Please clarify.
Well, because of time, we they come over to the studio guest for make a response to some of the messages then we people don't send inside the program.
Okay, the fumble wanna thank you at least for una questions them and una comments them una don't make. About the plans and preparations I don't mention, I don't talk about support which we don't do in terms of the committees that we don't set. I mean the stakeholders that we don't meet and tell about the census, and of course that the president don't proclaim the census, we they do sensitization, and that we don't meet the district committees as well and make sure say we sensitize about the census. So that's about the plan. The time actually, as we all know, now next year now December now the census night could be and the first, then of course the other 2 weeks we'll make sure so we involve in the data collection. The other one about the president's coming out to announce, I just want to make una know say the president they make a proclamation once, and for all the changes and way they happen from 1963 will not happen the same day or the same year. The president they make one announcement, then all other things then pertaining to the change now we engage the media, we engage the public, now sensitize. Now we statistics really now they go out with the other partners then for engage the public or the committees them about the change. As so rightly do so when we meet the district committee, we meet the advisory committee, we call that meeting day, we call the technical committee, we go at district level and go talk about the change. So the president just announced once, now a very busy man, announce once, the rest about the change, we go tell the public now and tell them say the change don't happen. The database of young people them, of course, statistics, so they get to do a census, we analyze data based on various categories them of phenomenon. So database pertaining to the youths a day, and of course, youth get for do with sports, so that database day. Who pays for census? Now I will tell you say the last time of course it was the donors, but this time round in time for the enumerators them, and the government get for pay the enumerators them and field workers them. They don't know that they participate, but get for be in other areas them who said then get for camps, so for provide logistics or capacity building.
Okay, in name na Andrew Bob Johnny, statistician general and statistics salon. Plenty thank you for where you take the time for be part of the program today. Good Morning Salon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.